Good evening, listeners and viewers to TDN Radio, TDN TV, and in particular, my fans and my listeners and viewers of This Week in Interview. Welcome to this episode of This Week in Interview with your host, Anthony Drago. Tonight, we are going to talk to somebody who is always speaking to other people, and she agreed and gave me the honor to have a conversation with her and to share this conversation with you. My guest tonight on This Week in Interview is Miss Emerline Anslem. And you may not know her by that name, you may just know her as Emo News or as Emo. Yes, I do have the privilege to spend an hour with Emo. And I look forward to sharing that with you. So grab your drink, share the live, let people know that Emo is on, and come right back. We'll be right back with Emerline. All right, welcome back. Welcome back to the short break. I hope you had the opportunity to grab your favorite beverage at the end of what must have been a long day for you. So whatever your favorite beverage is, grab it, kick back, and let's do an hour together. A special good evening to you, my regular listeners, to This Week in Interview. As I tell you every week, I don't take you for granted. I really appreciate the fact that you make This Week in Interview part of your weekly schedule. There's so many things that compete for your attention and your time, and you choose to spend it with me on This Week in Interview, and for that, I am super grateful. If tonight is the first time that you watching This Week in Interview or listening to me, welcome, very special welcome to you. My intention is to convert you to a regular listener so that by just making sure you have a good time and you appreciate what we do here. Very special good night to you folks in Dominica who may be listening to us on DigiPlay channel 59 through Radio RVR Jams. RVR Jams Radio Online carries This Week in Interview live, as well as SBE Radio in the Toronto market. SBE Radio Online in the Toronto market also carries This Week in Interview live. There's a link that's on the screen. I want you to share that link. It's Linktree/TDN Network. If you share that link with 5 people, they can choose how they want to see This Week in Interview. It could be on Facebook, it could be on YouTube, on all the social media, Instagram, Roku, and so on. Once they get that link, they can decide how it's easy and most convenient for them to join us. You know, we always have very special information on This Week in Interview, and that's why I like you to share it, because all of the good information that we have, we don't want to keep it a secret. We don't want to cover it under a bushel. The more people that know and get the information that we have, is the closer we are to starting the movement that we want to start. But as I said before, my guest tonight is Miss Emerline Anslem. Emerline, or as we affectionately know her as Emo. She is the CEO of Emo News. And I was so tickled, so honored when she agreed to come on to be my guest on This Week in Interview, because we know she's the busiest person in media. She is all over the place. She's even now starting to pop up in the US. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time because I know we have a lot of ground to cover. A very special and warm welcome to you, Miss Anslem. That's the only time I'm going to call you Miss Anslem tonight. After that, I'm going to call you Emo or Emerline. But a very warm welcome to you to This Week in Interview. It's a pleasure to have you.
Good evening, Mr. Trigo. I am happy to be here on the show tonight, and good night to all the followers of TDN and Emo News. I hope you guys are locked on tonight. We are going to be having an exciting show, so stay tuned for that.
Yes, I hope they're locked in. And I mean, I'm unashamed to say I hope that some of them like what they see and what they hear, that they come back on a Wednesday. We do this every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We choose contemporary topics, but we like to bring it with a twist. So, for example, the month of September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. And so the first Wednesday, we spoke about that. And then on the last Wednesday, on the 27th, we are going to talk about prostate health again, and mixing with ED, erectile dysfunction, and the challenges that men face as they get older, and some of the things that you can do with it. We have as our guest, a bushman that's going to tell us about what remedies we can use to take care of your prostate. But tonight, what's on the table is Emo News. And so let's start off by telling people who is Emerline Anslem. Give us a little bit of a background. Who are you? What have you done? Just general. Let's introduce you to our folks.
Well, my name is Emily Anselm. That's known. I am called. My friend calls me Emo. My friend calls me Emo. I am from the beautiful village of Pebush, the home of the Queen of Bel Air, Rubelin Walter, the home of the Lawrence Brumans, the home of the best drummers in Dominica, Pebush drummers. I am a teacher for the past 23 years.
Wow.
I have one daughter, Gabrielle Anselm. I own Emo News. I am the CEO of Emo News. I am a hard worker. I am a very committed person. Um, in a nutshell, this is Emo News.
It's Emo News. And you really don't need no introduction, just that maybe some people don't know you're a teacher, some people don't know you from Paybush.
Yeah, I
And
am.
when she said Paybush is one of the most beautiful villages in Dominica, there's no doubt. It's the view and the scenery in Paybush is
Even
just,
every now and then I post our beautiful scenery around
yeah.
Page mornings. Yeah.
Yeah, it's magnificent. And I think you forgot to mention the Paybush Cultural Group, huh?
The Pebush Cultural Group. We have a lot of things. The home of Kimani Felicite, Miss Dominica, Mara Walter, Miss Dominica. So Pebush is just a very tight-knit community, beautiful village, and that is where I'm from.
That's where you're from. Two Miss Dominicas
That's
so
right.
far. All right. So
And
not
also
only,
Miss Wabduyet as well.
and Miss Wabduet as well. So culture, beauty, and all of that mixed up in
Everything.
one. So you say you're a teacher, you've been teaching for 23 years. Tell us a little bit about that. Where do you teach and what subjects you teach?
I started teaching at the Ben's Primary School. I did 1 year at the primary school, and then I moved on to the high school. I am now at the Portsmouth Secondary School, and you may have heard this morning we had 6 students who topped CXC. We had a 10 grade one, and he's from also from Paybush. Congratulations to
Mm.
Ian. So he's from
Wow.
the Portsmouth Secondary School. Portsmouth Secondary School is one of the best schools on the island, and that is where I work. I teach
Mhm.
social studies and business. I teach the upper forms and as well as the lower forms.
Awesome. So thank you for that. I mean, teachers do such hard work with
Yeah.
most of the times limited rewards.
And now it is even harder to teach, Some of the
Mm.
students, you have to be pushing them constantly. So that's the job now is getting harder every day.
I think teachers say that all over. It's not that it's not true. I think it is true, and it's true across the board. You see teachers that say, I have to go into my pocket to buy
Oh
supplies to
yes.
teach
And
my
even now,
kids.
it's even worse.
Um,
Yeah.
and sometimes your kids come to school maybe without breakfast, and you probably have to buy some recess for
Recess
them.
for them, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And books and supplies. So, like I said, thank you so much
Surviving.
on behalf of Dominica and Portsmouth and Paybush, to you and to all your colleagues at the Portsmouth Secondary School.
Yes,
So
thank you.
let us talk about Emo News. All right. MO News, my impression is that MO News started after Hurricane Maria devastated Dominica.
Yes.
And media was down. There was hardly any means to communicate. People, roads were blocked. People had to walk from one area to the next, if they could walk, because there were trees and all kind of stuff. And up pops this spunky young lady pointing her camera at people and
Yes.
asking them questions. Do I have it right? Is that how
Yes.
Ammonia started?
My little phone. Yes, that's all I used to go all over Dominica to get the information. Just the phone.
So we have that in common, because I don't know if you know that after Hurricane Maria, TDN was on air. TDN never went off air.
Ah, yes, I
And
heard.
we actually stayed on 24/7. We have recordings of thousands of Dominicans calling desperate. They want to know about this area and that area and all of that. So we have that in common, in the sense that we were the
Oh,
ones
that's
bringing
so.
information to folks. But what made you do that? What inspired you to do that? How did it start?
How did it start? Well, in 2015, we had a hurricane, tropical storm Erica, I
Mm-hmm.
recall. And I was in the US during that time. And I have always been on social media. I think back then it used to be BB. I think it's Blackberry, something. I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember the exact. Well, BB. So I always used to be on internet, on social media, communicating with my friends. So while I was in the US, a lot of people used to be sending the photos of the devastation after tropical storm Erica. So
Mm-hmm.
I started posting it on my personal page. That's my Emerline Anslem page. And then a lot of people started getting the information from there.
Right.
So I recall we had to go back home. I think it was in August, and there was no flight straight to Dominica. So I think I reached out to is JetBlue, yes, and JetBlue gave us an option to go to Saint Lucia, then take the ferry to Rosewan. So I started posting information. So a lot of people needed that information, so they started to gravitate towards my page, and the page became a little busy. Then various organizations started reaching out to me. How can they get to Dominica, or they can reach out to Dominicans? And then I started, seeing how important, networking really is.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that's how it all started. And then after Hurricane Maria, I was in Dominica for that storm, that hurricane. It was
Mm-hmm.
terrible. I had my fair share of Maria as well. Then I just decided I need to just go out and just get information for people.
Right.
Put my back on my back. I got a book, and then I started going from village to village, and I started posting it. And then I saw the need for that. People start asking me to go back to that village, go and see if their family is okay. And I went back every day religiously. I took my book, I wrote their names on the book, where they're from, what happened to them, and I started posting it on my page. Now, posting it wasn't an easy task. Um, I was lucky enough to have my American SIM card with me, T-Mobile. As you know,
Mm-hmm.
T-Mobile always gives like two credits unlimited.
Right.
I used to every afternoon I would go home, or whatever time I come home, I would find myself on the hill above Tibo. That's the village near Paybush.
Mm-hmm.
But that is where we'd get
Best signal.
the
Mm-hmm.
signal. And every night I would be there 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, uploading those pages of information. So folks would see, what is wrong with their family members, or even see a picture of their loved one. And I guess a lot of people appreciated that. So that kind of made me more popular, because there was a need. I actually feel the gap. A lot of
Right.
people depended on me or wanted that information. And I guess I came through for them. So
You did. Right.
I,
I remember that. I remember, folks would be asking, what about Point Michelle? What about Castle Bruce? And Emma would be in the village talking to one or two people and showing what the village is about. And you have no idea how much comfort that brought to so many people. who were worried about their loved ones.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people reach out and they topped up my phone. So it's like they were giving me a little motivation to
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
continue. So, and to me, I just wanted to get away from my own devastation because my entire room, my entire house was destroyed.
mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to just move away, move away, move away. I didn't want to see that. So I went to the different villages just to, to do what I had to do and make people happy. Yes.
Mm. Just a quick note, Sam. I'm getting some text from some listeners who are saying that they're not able to get on. So I don't know if it's on, if we have it. No, but we do. I'm seeing it on this weekend interview Facebook page. All right. So you started going around, and then things started coming back
Yes.
semi-normal and so on, and you just continue.
Yes, sometimes opportunities come on our door, so we have to capitalize on it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I can confirm that I have always been a hustler. So I saw that opportunity and I just take it away, and there was no stopping me. I became very popular. A lot of people started following me, so I decided to create my MO News official page.
So I went on the page today, Emo. You
Yes,
have 110,000
followers.
followers. Dominica barely has 60,000 people. In my opinion, they say the population is 70, that's official, but it's been stuck at 70 since I was in grammar school. Um, so Dominica barely has 60,000 people residing in Dominica.
Hmm.
How do you have 110,000 followers? What does that feel like? You're like it's as though you're the most popular person, the most followed and most listened to person in Dominica.
Well, to me, if you live outside of Dominica, the only person that really keeps you connected on a daily basis is Emo News.
That is for sure.
I mean, you see, I am always live at a function. Sometimes it's not beneficial, sometimes it is beneficial. I carry it live because I know people out there want to see what is happening in Dominica. And I don't only have Dominicans following me, I have a lot of people from all over the Caribbean, a lot of St. Lucians. I have people from the UK, people from Canada, all over the world following Emo News. So that explains the 110,000 followers. And the funeral page has about almost 120 something thousand followers.
The funeral page
Yes, the funeral page.
has so almost 120,000.
Yes.
And that's another thing is that, folks now, especially with COVID, I mean, if we have to talk about COVID and the times when we were isolated, MO News became even more valuable to so many people who could not come home. A loved one dies and they couldn't travel. You were able to bring that closure and that comfort to folks. So, Emma, when did it strike you that, yeah, you go around and you point your camera and you ask questions and people follow you, but now you have an enterprise, you have a business. At what point did that click happen, or was it gradual? That you know what, this has potential as a business.
Well, right after Maria, I was doing things, I was just posting, doing things Viki, and I realized that this is an opportunity that I have to grab. If I don't grab it, I'm going to lose it. So I started, well, people started telling me, post this for them, post that for them. And I did a lot of that for like free for how many years? Like
Mhm.
just posting businesses, advertisements, and announcements. And I'm like, what? If I can do that for you free, I may as well start to
There's some
charge
value there, right?
make some
Yeah.
money. And
Mhm.
I think at one point I realized that I'm doing too much freebies.
Mhm.
I am like, I mean, I need to make sure that talent of mine brings some return on investment. So I started making myself look more uniform.
Right.
I established my website in 2018. 18, I
Mhm.
launched my official website.
Right.
So from there, I realized that I need to take things serious, you know.
Mhm.
So businesses started now, seeing that I am more organized, more uniform. That they started reaching out to me and doing some more advertisement. And then Flo gave me a good start. Flo made me a brand ambassador right after Maria. So I was with Flo for a year and more. Thank you to Flo.
Mhm.
And then I continued from there.
Okay, so when you say you're no longer a brand ambassador for Flow.
And no, I'm not a brand ambassador for Flo, but I do business with them now
Okay, you're just a brand ambassador for MO News.
for M News. When you don't want to tie your something, you don't want to go and tie yourself with one person, you're free to do for anyone.
You flex, yeah, so
Yeah,
definitely. And of course, you did say that you teach business at a
yeah.
high school.
I am a business teacher,
So there you are doing practical application to what you teach your kids.
definitely.
Okay, so do you get pushback from some people as to like what kind of reception you get that's not the most favorable? I don't know if it's not that I want to go negative. I
Mhm.
really want to talk about it because sometimes we start businesses and it's not always a smooth, it's not always a rise. Sometimes we get challenges from different quarters.
Mm.
So did you experience that, or people just embraced you and just recognize in general that,
Well, 95% of the people love Emo News. And
right.
the 5% that might have a problem with Emo News is either it might be political, it might be maybe jealousy, it might be, I don't know. Um, However, this is like water under the bridge for me. Um, as you know, we in an open market.
Mm-hmm.
Competition is always available and open to anyone. I mean, there are persons doing the same thing that I am doing.
But not really, you're trying.
I mean, they're trying. And it's just that sometimes you can get the business, but get the business on an equal playing field. Don't go criticizing me to get the business. You understand?
Right.
Don't go saying things like, "Oh, she's using a phone to get the job done. We have, better cameras." Those kind of things there.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
when you look at my quality is very good. We get the job
Yes.
done. It can be a phone, it can be a 4K camera. We get the job done. The phone gets the job done for us. So I mean, it's a criticism, for example, customers would come and tell me, oh, I went to this institution and they convinced us not to give Emo the job. We can do a better job than Emo, or Emo using her phone, and we provide a better service. When you try to dim somebody light to make your own shine brighter, those kind of things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But we don't allow that to deter us. We still do what we have to do, and that's it.
That's it. And it doesn't matter. I mean, it says even more for you that what you have is a phone
Yes,
and you can produce all what you have to produce. And the other people who have their big setup
cameras.
and rig and all kinds of setup are not able to have the reach, are not able to have the effect and the impact that you have. So getting a lot of feedback from the audience. I don't know if someone to run some of them up. A lot of them are saying big up Mo News. If you can put some of the comments up, let's let Mo see some of what we're getting. So he said big up Mo News.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it going. Let's just Mo News, our boots on the ground. Mo News was the first. So Margot says I'm tuned in. So Emma, it's no doubt that you have. Fanelia says your reception quality is sometimes much clearer than theirs. So you have your fans. I mean, you don't even have to defend yourself. People defend you.
Yeah.
Don't listen to the naysayers. You're doing an excellent job.
Mhm.
This crab in the barrel mentality is what's keeping our people in the situation that they are in now.
Thank you.
So big up, I congratulate Emo on a job well done. Emo, one of the things about you is just your personality.
Yeah.
Um, some people might feel like, oh boy, I'm going to a wedding, I have to put makeup, I have to wear a certain dress, I have to, put on all kind of appearances. But what comes across is that you you are just so authentic. In my opinion, you try to be as professional as it's possible, but
Hmm.
even when it's not perfect, you make it work, and your fans and your listeners make allowances for that and accept it for what you do. Is that like deliberate, or is that just who you are naturally?
That's who I am naturally. I am that kind of person, free spirited. I wouldn't say don't care, but I just like to be simple and just get the job done. Even sometimes, some people say my accent is too raw, but it is who I am. I am from Pepush, the countryside, and as I told them already, if you find you want a job done and you want a more refined accent, I do have staff that can go and get the interview done with refined accent. I try my best to keep it my style because that's who I am. I don't want to sound different and. I mean, I could change my accent and sound like an American, but to me, I'll sound fake. So I just want to be natural, be myself, and just do what I am doing. And I think people more identify with me because sometimes some functions they say they want me to come.
Right.
Emojis.
No,
So
certainly.
it is what it is. That's me in a nutshell, plain and simple.
Somebody is asking, I don't know, I'm not going to ask it because all listeners are there. You answered how best you can. Ask
Mm.
Mo how many vehicular accidents she has witnessed.
Papa won't say. Oh,
No, that's okay. That's all right.
well, it's a lot of accidents on a daily basis. I think the problem is people don't take their time. Yeah. People need to take their time. Even me, when I'm driving, I see so many things, madness on this road.
Mhm, mhm.
So I always thank God for protection on this road because it's crazy. But I have witnessed a lot. I've seen a lot of missed accidents, and
Mhm.
yeah, I
Yeah,
cannot
because
give you a count.
he cannot count, right?
Uh,
And the thing about what you do is that there's a record.
yes.
Somebody can go on there and they can see the progression of how things go. So before we go to the break, I want to ask you about journalism.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, when you just started, people were like, Emo is not a journalist. Emo is just a person that just pointing her phone, she whatever, whatever, whatever. Whatever your definition of journalism is, um, the fact is that you bring the information across and you bring it live most of the times or close to live, and so it's current. We know that sometimes some environments are a little bit hostile
Mhm.
to people who try to collect news and ask questions and that sort of thing. Are you sometimes intimidated by some of the situations that you have to step into and step in front of people and ask them questions?
Well, before I used to be, but now I'm not. I used to be very scared. They used to literally dread me and make
Hmm.
me feel so small. But now I'm a bigger person. I think I am above that. I just go normal. I fit myself normal. So even if the big cameras are there, I place my tripod in between them. I just make myself comfortable with no fear at all.
Yeah, you step in among the big boys.
Before I used to feel that way, and even up to recently, there was a program talking about me again, and I'm like, So I did remind them that they need to stop that. Before I would not answer them, like, no, I'm actually letting them know that what they're doing is wrong. I
Right.
mean, get with the program.
Exactly.
No need
No,
to criticize. Just try to help the person build up, not try to
not
bring
to
the
tell
person
them no.
down.
As one of our viewers said, the crab in a barrel
Yes.
mentality, trying to prevent everybody from going. Emma, I think you have an admirer who is brave enough to reveal himself.
Oui, Papa.
He's, he says good evening to someone's future wife.
Hi. Good morning, future husband.
Good morning, future husband. He happened to be my nephew.
Oh,
So so maybe he comes highly recommended by me, but that's a different program. That's a different program. So when I look at Emo News, right, there were established media houses in Dominica. There were the radio stations, there are the newspapers, there's online news and so on. And I'm amazed at the level of coverage. So one of my biggest criticisms of the news that comes out of Dominica is that they don't seem to dive below the surface.
sure.
They're very willing to just, you see a pool of water and it looks green, and they report there's a pool over there and it's green. They're very reluctant to step close, maybe step in, maybe look under and say, oh, well, there are fishes, there's trash, there's whatever. And you were able to come into that space and just show it like it is. And for that, we really appreciate that aspect of your, I call it, reporting. And somebody says not to mention the terrible writing that that they do. When you think about your business, and there's no doubt that you think of your business as a media business, which includes journalism, what where do you position yourself as, I don't know if you understand what I'm asking, but in terms of your aspirations, the type of product that you're trying to put out there. Um, so, like there's CNN, there's CBS, there's also entertainment. Where have you defined yourself in that kind of a sense? I hope you understand what I'm asking.
Well, M1 is more like a one-stop shop for everything.
For everything.
Yes, we cover everything. I'm pretty sure you have seen weddings on Emo News.
Mm-hmm.
You have seen parties. You have
Right.
seen funerals. You have seen real news. You have seen entertainment. Everything. We cover everything. So I think it's a one-stop shop for everything.
Everything. And when
In
you cover news, you cover serious news,
I
and
cover
you try to be as accurate as possible.
Yes, I try my best to be. Before, when I used to post, I just used to just post whatever I get. So, for example, like on what day was on Wednesday? No, Monday. That was the murder in Granby. Someone messaged at whatever time. I have to find somebody in the village to message and ask them whether or not to verify if the information is true.
Mm-hmm,
So,
mm-hmm.
like now, I try to do more verification before I post. That wasn't
Okay.
happening long ago. I just used to post by if I. But
Mm-hmm.
now I have to ensure that, because a lot of people look up to Emo News, a lot of people follow Emo News. So I try to make sure that whatever I post is factual and true. Factual is true. Yeah, factual.
Right. And so you do that. You have that quality control that you build into your product.
Yes, and I have some key stakeholders who give me information that I won't talk about. So I know my information is always on point.
There's a slogan. I don't know if you're aware of it. There's a slogan that's going around that says, "If it's not an Emo News, it's not true."
That's correct.
So that's a major accomplishment. Oh, Emo, I have to take a quick break now because we're at the bottom of the hour and we have some sponsors. So folks, stay right there, don't move. If you haven't been sharing the live, share it, because we're having this conversation with Emo News, and I mean, she's even more likable and personable than when she's pointing the camera at folks. I hope you're having a good time as I am. We're going to take a quick break, get a word from our sponsors. And when we come back, we are going to find out how MO News is in so many places at the right moment. Does she have a helicopter? Does she have special powers? Does she teleport? How she manages to be in every single corner of Dominica at the right moment. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Emerline and Sam of MO News.
Presented by.
People say I've got a great smile. Well, I have to say, this is all thanks to the professional team at Beacon Dental Group right here in Dorchester, Massachusetts. I've got world-class dental care. Beacon Dental Group has expert and caring staff dedicated to providing the most advanced and satisfactory treatment in all aspects of oral health. Their services are designed to meet your needs and give you a perfect smile, too. General checkups, cosmetic surgery, Gemini laser service, and advanced procedures, all in a state-of-the-art facility. Call or visit Beacon Dental Group today, 1026 Blue Hill Avenue, Dorchester, Massachusetts, or call 617-282-2146 for a smile that lights the world.
How much Dominican history do you know? Want to learn some fun facts? We have a great and fun way to test your knowledge and learn more about our history. Get your copy of Dominic Anu, Dominica in Puzzle. Fun for the whole family. Available now on Amazon.com. Visit pushpast10.com to learn more. Email us at dominicainpuzzle@gmail.com or call 877-698-9894.
If you live in Canada, the US, and the UK and are looking for Dominica products including cocoa sticks, bay rum, coffee, soaps, crafts, and other popular Dominica items, then look no further. You can now shop on BuyDominicaOnline.com, a secure, easy-to-navigate website selling a wide variety of Dominica-made and Dominica-inspired products. When you shop on BuyDominicaOnline.com, you are helping to grow Dominica's economy. Go to BuyDominicaOnline.com and enjoy home away from home.
Looking to promote your business, engage current customers, and reach new people? Well, look no further. From the basic presentation to a fully fledged advertisement, use your video ads to attract customers. At Man's Audiovisual Productions, we do just that. We produce videos for business and event promotions, product demo videos, animated explainer videos, fundraiser ads, and much, much more. Engage your clients and sell online. We customize the video to match your brand design. Guaranteed to play flawless on all devices, including smart TVs. Contact us at telephone number 203-690-4342 or 767-245-6238. Visit our website, mansaudiovisual.com. or email us at derekvideo@gmail.com.
All right, so welcome back, folks. Thank you for staying with us through the break. I want to say, as usual, thank you to our sponsors, Beacon Dental Health. They definitely fix your smile and you leaving the place really, really happy. We have BuyDominicaOnline.com. We have Dominic, that puzzle book. And of course, we have Man's Audio Visual. They're responsible for the flyers that we do to promote This Week in Interview, and they do all of our graphic works. They do tremendous work. They're both, they can do small events, they can do big events, they can do flyers, they can live coverage and production. But check them out, Man's Audio Visual. They definitely will make you happy and give you a product that at the end that you can keep for memory's sake. So welcome back. My guest tonight on This Week in Interview is Miss Emerline Anslem, Emo, from Emo News, and we're talking about how she has just evolved from a regular, beautiful young lady from Paybush. She said, it's not my word, she said Paybush people are beautiful. And then she said they're smart because they have, a lot of folks that do so well in the CXC. And she is turning her enterprise into the biggest media house in Dominica. She covers live events, news events. She covers functions. She brings funerals, parties, whatever it is that you need to know about Dominica. MO News carries it. And well, before we get too much further in the conversation, I wanted to take a moment and talk about how folks can contact you, the type of service that you offer, and how they can contact you if they have something coming up and they would like coverage of it, what you offer and how they can contact you.
Okay, so as you know, we specialize in funerals, so you can always book us for your, well, it's not something we do not want to talk about, but there is inevitable if it happens. You can contact me via my telephone number, 295-7186. We also do birthdays. If you want to showcase your birthday on Emo News, we also do that. We offer business spaces. If you want to advertise your business, you have a vacancy, you have a home for rent, you have a piece of land for sale, a vehicle for sale, whatever you want to sell, the best place to sell it is on Emo News. If you have a restaurant and you want to showcase the foods that you prepare, we can come in. We do a lot of live coverage. We got a small package fee for you, and then you can showcase your business. We do after parties, we do wakes, we do whatever it is, we cover it. Once you want it live, Emo News is there.
And I see that you've covered a couple of funerals from the US as well. So you're expanding
Yes,
into the US?
if you have a funeral in St. Thomas, we can provide you with coverage. New York, we can provide you. New Jersey, Atlanta, and Antigua. We have persons who can cover the funeral here. These places for you.
Okay. And if you live in somewhere and you want to hook up with M1, tell her you can cover events. So of course, contact her, right?
And if you live somewhere else other than the countries I mentioned, we have a way of getting it covered for you. So just reach out to me.
So you give your phone number, but I'm imagining they can also go on your Facebook page and send you messages, right?
Yes, or email me at editormonews@gmail.com.
Say that again, slower.
Editor,
Okay.
emonews@gmail.com.
Okay. Editor emonews@gmail.com.
Yes.
You get that email. Then you can go on her Facebook page and send her a direct message. And her phone number is 767-295-7986. Did I get that right?
7186.
7186. All right. So, Emma, let's talk about how, I don't want you to give out any trade secrets, but how it happens that Emo News 90% of the time is live when stuff happens or has just happened. How are you able to accomplish that? In a place like Dominica, where everybody says communication is a challenge, to go from one place to the next is a challenge, and all of that. How do you achieve it?
Well, my mom says I stay on the road. I live on the road. So I'm always on the road. I always have something to do. And if you go at the back of my vehicle now, you'll say it's a house. It has everything that I need. So I am always out. So I am always at the spot at the right time.
Right.
And I believe that news, if something happens, you also make yourself available to be there. So I remember when they were looking, remember the Kenisha Kian story?
Right.
I was coming from Roseau that day, and I decided to go into Layu where they were doing their search. But there was nothing, they were just searching and they did not get Kiana's yet. So I asked for an update. Well, obviously, they're always reluctant to give an update. So I left. When I got to call you, I saw a message saying that they captured Kian. Now, I could have gone my merry way. I decided, no, I made a 360 turn in the road and I head back to Layu. So I wanted to be there for that. I remember when they found the girl that was murdered recently in Portsmouth.
In Portsmouth, right.
Yes. I was at the salon putting my weave on. And the girl was actually combing my hair. And then I got the call and they told me they found the body. I told her, just leave my hair how it is. I left the salon, my hair, half of it comb. I just placed a hat on my head and I ran. Because I mean, this is what I see happen. I follow international news and you have to be there. People want to see what is happening. So I try my best to be there. So wherever it is, once I am available, I start my vehicle. Once there is gas in my vehicle, and I run.
Yeah, you must have 200,000 miles on your car.
That's what I buy it for.
Multiplied by 4. So, that is what it takes.
Yes.
But okay, so you mentioned the fact that you were there when they killed Kian. That was the highlight for me watching Emo News throughout the years. I'm like, wow, Emo is right there in the thick of things, and none of the established media houses anywhere close. I think now they must be just tuning into Emo and saving money and not going and being out in the field. Yeah. What are some of the other activities that you've carried and you've covered that stands out to you as that you remember special?
Well, you remember the trough in when was the trough? November in Casabros. I also went there. I trying to remember. Well, this Kian story was one. I remember there was the couple the boat, the guy that died at Dublin. I'm not sure if you saw when I took the boat to get a closer view of
get a closer view, right?
Yes. And I think there was another one accident on Mont Espanol where the husband and wife died. I was right there.
Right there, right.
But it's kind of hard, in Dominic. I'm not sure if it's because we're small. We don't know. I don't know if they don't watch how the news operates elsewhere. It's like sometimes you reach on the scene. I mean, and I know now what I should and should not show. But me being on the scene should not be a problem. That is news. I mean, I even wish I had a helicopter to be at the top to film. That is what I'm supposed to be doing as a news media, being on the scene and showing as it unfolds. But it's sometimes a challenge. People don't understand those things. They tell you what you're doing there, come out there. And those kind of...
Well, it happens all over, people are really hostile to news people, so...
But
this you have to develop a thick skin.
As well. But I try my best to be there, and other incidents that happen, I think people just reach out to me at any hour of the day to let me know that something happens. Any hour, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 24/7, people message my phone.
Yeah. Wow. So I don't know what your relationship is with Dominica Festival Commission. I for one was very disappointed that they pretty much let you had to set up yourself outside and carry very minimal. How can you change that?
Well, most of their events now they are pay-per-view, so that is understandable. Maybe I now need to work on getting my pay-per-view set up so I can,
be able to offer that, right?
be able to offer it as well.
Mhm.
So as much as I would like to carry some of the festival live, I think people more enjoy the people that follow Emo News. They enjoy the fact that I am on the outside,
Mhm.
showing the other parts of the festival, like the forecourts, people enjoying themselves, and I like to do it myself. I like to be outside where I know I am free, and people are more free to talk to Emo News when they enter the gates
Right,
of
right. Mhm.
activity. Yeah.
Okay. So it's not too much of a big deal that you like a free freelancing, free
Yes.
ranging.
So I maybe just
You,
as I said, I have to work on my pay-per-view part of it,
yeah.
so I can
I
offer.
yeah, you seem to be able to adapt to the
Yes.
situation to suit whatever amount of access
Yeah.
that they give you. Emo, did you always have a secret passion to be a journalist?
No, I always had a secret passion to be a successful entrepreneur,
Mm.
and Emo News is a success. So that is good for me. I have always been, wanting to be that business person
Mhm.
that will succeed. And I
Right.
see this is happening. Yeah.
Because the way you show up, like you said, you're doing your hair, and you're like, stop, let me go. It's like you've developed that passion for the news and for being there. So is that now part of you that if, let's say, a different business were to present itself that was more lucrative, you would miss that excitement of going to those events?
I think it's part of me. I'm not even sure I go in. I don't think it will ever leave me. I think it will continue as long as I am alive. It is just in because even when I go to functions and I'm not supposed to be live, what they say, you shane. It's like you're uncomfortable because you're like, I'm so used to being live or doing my stuff, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, can I go live? So it's part of me now.
It's
Yeah.
part of you now. So where do you see your business going in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Have you even thought of it that far out, or you just, you
Yes.
know?
Well, now it has been established. I just need to maybe come up now with my own Emo News studio where I can host interviews like you in a setting like this. Have more news kind of style like how it used to happen like on mapping, like a
Mhm,
documentary style. I think this is also lacking. Um,
mhm.
so maybe in the near future that might pop up. You never know.
Right, right, right. So Emo News is now going to become, like a Ted, like you see, like how Ted Turner created his whole
Yes.
enterprise. Emo.
And now I have after the story with the ketchup guy, I got connected to all the international media, so they all have my
Oh,
contact. So we good. They still do message, so you never know.
right. So you can make collaborations and make
Collaboration. Yeah.
connection. Young people who have the same kind of dream and the same kind of drive to be a successful entrepreneur, successful business person, a successful business woman. What would you say to them?
This morning I spoke to my business students. That's like this week is our first class. I told them that you may have a skill, you may have something that you like to do. Try your best to capitalize on it. It can make you wealthy, it can make you rich very far. To the young people who are out there, if you have a goal, stay focused, keep striving, don't allow anything to deter you from achieving your goal. If you want something, just go for it. Don't allow negativity or you know the forces out there to prevent you from doing what you want to do. Because I always say, if you see I had to take on the critics, I would have given up already.
Right,
Giving up is not an option. You always have to stay focused, keep your head above water, do what you have to do. No one is perfect. No one is perfect. You will make mistakes, and that is part of life. You just have to do your do. And once you have a skill, you maybe can do your nails, you can do hair, you can make tablets, you can peel plant, whatever it is, just capitalize on it. You just never know. Find your niche and work on it.
Right. And in the meantime, you do your hustle, you know, let it develop. Like you, Emily,
Yes.
you still teach full time. How do you do
How do I do it? Good question.
it?
Well, I'm doing it, so I am maybe just God maybe giving me the strength to do it.
Extra amount of energy, right?
Yes, I have a lot of energy.
There's no doubt that you are an inspiration to a lot of folks. You know, when I started promoting this interview, I got so much feedback.
Mhm.
And one of the persons that gave me feedback, I'm going to say what he said because he's somebody I admire,
Mhm.
Gordon Henderson. Gordon Henderson chimed in and he says, Emerline is an icon and she's an inspiration to so many of us. And Gordon Henderson is somebody, I guess, that walked a similar path. He is just a musician in Dominica that saw talent and he became an international superstar. And when so many musicians and artists struggle to make a living from their art, he established himself and he's been able to do it successfully. So that is the type of impact that you have on folks. You have 110,000 followers on MO News. You have 120,000 on MO News Funerals, I think that's what you call it. That makes you an influencer. That gives you a tremendous amount of reach. And with that reach comes a lot of responsibility. So as we close the interview, I wanted to talk a bit about that. I'm going to call it power because it is a power, that influence. How do you process it? How do you think about it? How conscious are you in terms of how you use that power and what you hope to, the impact that you hope to have on Dominicans, on the world around you?
Well, I have established Emo News. To date, we have 8 staff. So that's already a plus, creating employment.
It.
8 of us.
Mhm.
And they love working with Emo News. Kudos to them. I do contribute locally to a lot of different functions. Persons reach out to me for donations and stuff. I contribute. Another way I contribute to Dominica, I do pay my taxes every year from Emo News. So
Mhm.
these are 2 major things that I can boast of that I help with the Dominica economy. One, connect people. Two, I pay my taxes. 3, I create employment.
Employment.
4, I make people happy. I bring closure. And I think that's a good thing. And I let people advertise where they can get their return on investments. Most of the places that I advertise for or I do business with, they are appreciative and they can boast that they get their return.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You know, you really contributing at the level where people feel that impact. And so we are pretty much at the end of the hour. It flew by. I really and thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. And the audience did as well. You know, the comments and all of what they say about you. You have a lot of admirers. You have a lot of people that wish you well.
Thank you.
I know you say you got a lot of support from folks when you first started off. Um, how can people who want to continue to support you, apart from, of course, following Emo News and patronizing your business, are there are there causes that you're involved with that they can participate, or how do people, those who want to support you, how can they?
Well, Most of the time, I do a live function, like a live with an individual that is in need. People do reach out, so
Right.
I can boast that people do reach out, and I make the whatever available to them.
Right.
Renewable News, like some of the functions that we do, they are free of charge. For example, we cover in Carnival, we cover Independence season is coming up. So if you feel like you want to send us a donation, because those most of those activities that we cover, we do it like free of charge just to keep you connected.
Certainly.
You can feel free to send us a top up. You can send us a little donation for our gas, our time. I'm not going to ask, but if you feel that you want to send us something,
Don't be ashamed to ask because you contribute. You know, you give a lot, so don't be
so
afraid
most
to
times we
say.
will attach our information for donation under the live. So if you are so moved and you want us to continue, especially for the independence celebration, we'll be doing a lot of coverage. You feel free to send us a donation. We'll accept it.
Folks can donate
Yes.
to MO News to help you defray some of your cost.
Yes.
And then also sometimes you highlight folks who are in need, you highlight a cause, and folks contribute to that.
Definitely.
Yeah. So Sam, I don't know if we have some comments that you want to bring up before we close from our listeners, from our viewers. Keep doing what you do.
Thank you.
Annual contribution. So Sam, go back to that one, annual contribution, please. Emo, do you have like a membership where people do annual contributions?
No, I don't.
You don't? Well, it
No.
seems like somebody suggested that. So
Well, I do news MO news via WhatsApp.
uh-huh.
We like $10 a year. Just
So why don't you talk about that? You have 110
um,
followers. 110
people
by 10
hardly
is a
pay
little
it,
bit of money.
so people
Huh?
hardly pay it, so I just don't bother.
No, so how does somebody get onto that WhatsApp list if you want to
Well,
say?
I have to add them. They would have to send me a request, and I would add them. Basically, it's just a broadcast. So before I even post on Facebook, sometimes I send it out via WhatsApp.
Okay, so you can get your direct
News, yeah.
news in your inbox on WhatsApp. That is so cool.
On your
So
phone.
on your phone. So and what they do, send you a text at 767
And say, add me to the broadcast.
295
Yeah.
and say add you to the broadcast. So
Yeah.
there you have it. MO News. You can
Via
be on, you can get your direct news. So it comes on your phone as a notification. You may not be able, you're at work, you may not be able to go on MO News. You might, but if you send a text to a WhatsApp text to 767 295 7186, you can get added on to MO News, so you can get the news first, you can get it direct, and you can ask questions.
Yes.
And she says it's only $10 a year.
Mm-hmm.
A year.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I mean, everybody should go on that. Okay, cool. Sam, okay, a great inspiration to young people. That's Magdalene saying that.
Oh, Miss.
Sorry. Miss Bontifia. Great job. Blessings.
Thank you.
Support a community in various ways. So that's probably somebody from your area.
Yes, that's the principal of the People's Primary School.
The principal. Okay, I know Magdalene. Yeah. Fanelia says, how does one advertise on MO News?
All you do is send me a WhatsApp or email me, and then we'll take it from there.
All right, 767 295 7186. Or go on MO News and send a direct message, a DM. Angie, my sister, keep up the good work. I said, she's my sister, she lives in Anguilla, Angie. Yeah, so Anguilla is in the house. Who else? Cecilia Bedminster. She is incredibly brave too. The types of places she goes to get the stories is mind-blowing.
I see. It's in Maryland.
Yes. Yeah, the person that says that you are somebody's future wife says the captivating smile does it for many. All right. making Emo blush.
Big up to my staff listening.
Karen, she's part
Yeah,
of your staff. Okay, Karen, good evening. Your staff is listening.
thank you.
Hey, staff of Emo News, good job you guys do. Good job. As we said, sometimes you see on the front, but there's a team behind you
Yes.
that keeps up the quality. So good job. Tropical is Radio family supports Emo News 100%.
Love alone.
Yes, love alone, love alone. Vanessa Paul, big up Emo. I mean, if we scroll, we'll be here. So anyway, to add the phone number to WhatsApp for her. Anyway, okay, so the phone number is 767-295-7186. Samuel also flash it across the screen. It's right up on the screen now. So if you forget, you can go back and look at the recording on Facebook and you'll find it. Just scroll towards the end of the video. All right. So you get the idea.
Yes.
People love you. They are thankful for what you do, and they wish you continued success. And so do I. I'm really honored to have had to spend this hour with you. I hope that we can collaborate and continue to provide the information to people, because just like Emo News, TDN Radio is mostly voluntary. And we do it, and one of the things that justify all of what we did, all the sacrifice, one of the times was when we were able to be the sole source of information after Maria, and we had so many people call in, and we were able to stand in that space. It really made it all worthwhile. So in a sense, I have a fair idea of what you do for folks. And so thank you so much for that. We wish you continued strength and continued success, and just continue climbing and soaring. And we look forward to the empire that you're going to create out of Emo News. I am going to give you to say a few closing remarks as we end this conversation.
So first of all, let me say thank you for having me on the show.
You're very welcome.
I enjoyed it. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you to all those of you who are tuning in. Thanks to my support system. Thank you to my staff, to those who work tirelessly behind the scene. Thank you guys so much. All praise and thanks to God for the passion, my zeal, my energies, everything. I want to thank him for everything. And to you, my supporters and friends, thank you so much for your love.
All right. You're very welcome, Emo, and as I said, continued success. I know. So, folks, there you have it.
Yes.
A really wonderful hour with magnificent and beautiful Emo News. Being the host of this weekend interview exposes me to, just really talking to incredible people and listening to them, talking to them, and sharing it with you. And so I am grateful for that opportunity. And tonight is one of those times, where we just watch Emo News was able to grow organically, just sprout at a time when she was needed. Dominicans needed that because everything was so devastated after Hurricane Maria, and she was able to step into that void and then to continue to grow. And she's a business teacher at the Portsmouth Secondary School. So I hope her students are really learning, because she is the embodiment of business class, taking that craft that she's learning and developing it into a business. So all the best to Emo News, her staff, and we wish her continued success. You guys can support her. Get on the list to receive your news on WhatsApp. Send a text at 767-295-7186. Go on Emo News, give her a follow if you're not already following her. And just thank you guys for staying with us through the hour. Next week, we're going to be featuring World Rivers Day. I want you to, if you are in Dominica, you're practically within reach of a river, no matter where you are. There's no place in Dominica that's far from a river. When you walk past the river, when you cross the bridge, I want you to pause and look at the river and don't just take it for granted that it is there. When you open your pipe and you get that water that you can drink and cook and bathe, I want you to appreciate where it came from. Don't just take it for granted. It is precious. And if you're in Dominica, you certainly have, if you're in Dominica, you certainly have the privilege of enjoying some of the best water in the world. Protect it more fiercely. Sometimes I see videos of the rivers being abused. But if the river is in your community, you need to protect it. So community ownership of our rivers. We're going to be featuring World Rivers Day next week. And as I said, the following week, the 27th, we're going to talk about prostate health again, because we want to encourage all the men to go and get your prostate checked, get a blood test that measures your PSA, get a digital exam that establishes that your prostate is healthy, there are no signs of any growth or inflammation, or if there is, that you can do something about it in time. Prostate cancer, if it's detected early enough, has almost 100% survival rate. So check it out every year, do your prostate exam, and you can find out early if, God forbid, there's something going wrong. We will also be dealing with, for men and their prostate, the prostate plays such a huge part in your sexual health. And so we are going to bring a Bushman back on to talk about some of the things that we can do to help enhance the health of your prostate. That's on the 27th. But next week, we'll be talking about World Rivers Day. Emo, some folks are saying that I should have had you on for 2 hours, but short and sweet, leave them wanting more, and then they will come back. But for good night, and thank you for staying with us for the extra hour. Not the extra hour, for the entire hour. And thank you to Emerline. Thank you to the staff. My producers, Sam and Ella, thank you so much for your help and all what you do to make us do this. And of course, you, the regular listeners, I appreciate you. Good night, folks. Have a great rest of the week, and we will see you again next week, Wednesday.